John from California. Are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how may we help you today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm just running into a situation. Recently, my spouse had told me that she wanted to move forward with a divorce. And I want to say that it caught me off guard, but it really didn't. We had some issues over the summer where she was reaching out to someone on social media and saying that she was doing it to get some emotional validation or get validation, and she developed an emotional relationship. And so we were able to get through it. I kind of leaned on some people from church and was able to kind of talk through it and kind of come to my senses and readdress some of the things that I wasn't doing in our marriage, and realize that, she had some things to work on, but I also had some things to work on. And after we kind of reconciled, I realized that I started to kind of go back into my old ways, and there was a lot of resentment that developed within me. And so I want to say back in January, I started to kind of go on this journey, so to speak, to reinvent myself so that I could be better in the relationship. And in doing that, she also started to do things to kind of reinvent herself, but hers were more about just reinventing herself as an individual, not in the relationship. And so they'd be doing things like creating social media sites and, broadcasting what's going on in her life. And I noticed that in that, my presence in that diminished. And so that drew some more insecurities, because that was the same platform that she used to create this other relationship with this other guy. And so just to kind of get it to where we are now, she, I would kind of question her about things, and she just basically said, I'm done. I've had enough. I don't do anything wrong, and you're being insecure, and it's really causing a lot of problems, and you're emotionally and verbally abusive. And some of those things I do agree with. I have been those things at times. And I think we've been that way to each other. That's kind of been the nature of the relationship.
Okay, my friend, you're really, I'm having trouble hearing you. There's all kind of noise coming through your phone that's making it difficult to hear you.
Okay, let me go into this hallway. I'm stepping outside.
Okay.
So yeah, is that better?
Right now it is.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so essentially, she said she wanted the divorce, and where we're at now is we kind of go back and forth on it. And so our therapist, who we speak to, said, before you move and sell the house, take 30 days. But she didn't really give us a plan of what we should be doing in that 30 days. And so my fear was we're going to wait 30 days, and the only thing that would change is the date, because we don't have anything to work on. And so we're about a week and a half to 2 weeks in, and every other day she comes to me and just kind of reaffirms this statement of, you know what, I'm thinking I make the right choice. I want to move forward with it. And then we get in a situation where when she tells me that, I kind of don't know how to respond in that moment. Like, do I say okay, or do I say, well, let's wait and let's see if this change is something that's going to work for us. And that's what I typically do, is say, hey, I hear you and I understand, but also understand that I'm making a change, and it's not for you, it's for me. But it's in that I hope we can find a better us. And we'll talk for about 2 or 3 hours, and it's kind of like I talk her off the ledge. And two days later, she's back on the ledge again, like, no, I'm moving forward with this. And she'll put posts up on social media every day saying, yeah, I'm moving on.
Do you think there's somebody who is helping her do this? Do you know if there's anybody in her life influencing her to move on without you?
I do. She says she hasn't really shared this with people, but I do know that what happens is when she goes on social media and she'll put a post like moving on, or, she had put this one post up where it said, I'd rather be divorced than stay with an idiot forever. And she got all kind of support from her followers on social media, like, yeah, do you, and that kind of stuff. So I think those kind of things influences her. But I
Okay.
do think she probably has a family member who's close to her who's saying, they kind of heard her side
Yeah.
and they're supportive of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's something that you can't control, we can't control, but it's a terrible thing. If there are people out there saying, you're right, keep going, get out of this marriage, do what you want to do. For example, if somebody posts on
Right.
Facebook, I think I'm going to be divorced because I don't like being in this marriage anymore, I'll guarantee you everybody who has been, hey, everybody's too strong. There are people who have been through divorce, who have done crappy things to their own marriages, who will definitely support that because somehow it helps them justify what they themselves have done. And we are living in a world that has so many selfish people that think only about themselves and their pleasure, that if somebody says something like, I'm going to leave this commitment, leave that commitment, there are people like, yeah, go for it. Just do what makes you happy at the moment, because that's how those people live. I can't remove those people from the planet. You can't remove those people from the planet. We can't remove them from influencing our spouses. But it sounds to me like you've got a big audience working against you of people who are just idiots. Now, are you by any chance, some of the things you mentioned said to me that you may have some understanding here. Are you in our online course by any chance?
Well, I mean, I've looked at it, but that's one of her gripes is that we're in financial ruin. I mean,
Okay.
we're drowning in debt. So
right,
I wasn't able to pursue that. But
Have you been through
I
our?
listen to a lot of the videos you guys.
Okay, so you've been through a lot of our videos and audios and articles. Because we
Yeah.
have tons of free stuff. Okay, I think it makes
Right,
sense.
right. I've looked at all of it.
Excellent, good. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. What you're doing is working on what we call PIES, physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, where you're taking care of yourself, you're becoming a better person. And as you said, you're doing it for you, but you're doing it in the context of trying to make things better for her. I think it sounds to me like you're doing the right kinds of things. I'm glad. I mean, you were very bright when you said, okay, I understand how you feel. I know why you want to do that. That's brilliant. And then, but what about this? Let's think about that. What about that? I don't know how to tell you to do things better than what you're doing. Unfortunately, you're fighting against some pretty strong opposition there of people who are encouraging her to go do this bad thing, which is end the marriage. Now, is it ever a good thing to end a marriage? Well, actually, sometimes it is. But based on what I'm hearing you say here, it's because she's taken whatever you have done imperfectly, and I know you have done things imperfectly because nobody's perfect, and exacerbating or magnifying those things, and people are encouraging her with that so she can go on and be without you. You still love this woman, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the person that she is inside is a good person?
Very, very good person. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then,
I think she's just lost right now, and a huge part of me thinks she's ambivalent about what she wants to do. Like she said, in order for us to make this work, we need to basically start over. And she essentially told me last night that she doesn't want to get to know the new me, and she doesn't want any more of the old me. And so I'm kind of lost in between. Like, does she want this to work or does she not? And, she said we need to start over and even date each other again. I don't even know what that means, date each other again.
well, if she'll do it, maybe that's where you should start, my friend. Maybe you actually start making dates. Like, okay, let's go out Friday night. We're going to go to dinner, and then we're going to walk on the river or whatever, and we're going to go do this on Friday night. Well, you date me Friday night and do it just as that. And if you do, don't talk about the relationship. Just talk about what's interesting to her, those kinds of things. That's what dating means. It means you really do kind of start anew, where you're not working on the problem per se. You're getting to know each other all over again. If you're willing to do that, that is a place to start. As you said, your counselor said, well, wait 30 days and make a decision, but she gave you no plan. All right, well, then you can make your own plan. Okay, in the next 30 days, let's go out on 5 dates or whatever it might be. And let's plan these dates and do things that are fun and just enjoy each other again. I would recommend that if you do that, you probably don't talk about the relationship. If she says, let's start from scratch, you can do that. You can actually start from scratch. Let's just go out and talk and listen and not push. And if that then moves her to the point where she's friendlier with you and more open to you, then that actually can work. It's definitely a place to start. Have you talked to any of our client representatives here by any chance?
I did. I spoke, I believe it was to Mark last week, and he sent me some information, and I definitely read the information and tried to apply it, the SMART techniques and everything else. And, you know, just like I said, learning about myself. So, yeah, I've definitely reached out.
When this program is over, I'm going to give Mark a couple of suggestions about you. So if you will, sometime later this afternoon, give Mark another call, because I'm going to give him some ideas for you. Would that be okay?
Okay. That'd be great. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you very much.